Good day, everyone. So, for today's topic, we will be tackling the first module of PathFit 2, starting with the first lesson, which is the physical fitness and wellness. Of course, before we start, dapat ay alam po muna natin kung ano nga ba ang definition ng physical fitness. In our meeting previously, napag-usapan po natin that not all people that you see that you encounter is considered physically fit. No. So let us define kung ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng physical fitness. Physical fitness refers to your body system's capacity to function effectively together to allow you to be healthy and perform daily living activities. Since we have a lot of things to do in our day, di ba, we have these tendencies na mapagod, makaramdam ng hindi ganun ka-komportabling feeling whenever we do something, it's because absent yung pagiging fit or yung physical fitness. So, if you will be um, telling other people kung tingin nyo ba physically fit ako or tingin mo ba sila ba physically fit, this can be your basis. So physical fitness, again, you are able to function effectively and wala kang na-experience na fatigue or pagod on your end. Ano nga ba yung mga pwedeng maging examples of the activities in our daily life that can test our physical fitness? So it can be our schoolworks because we know that schoolworks covers all the bases, di ba? Hindi lang naman yan sa utak. Even in other subjects, nagre-require din siya ng physical, emotional. So, it can be one of the challenges or barriers. Number two, syempre, pag natapos ka sa school, uuwi ka, meron ka namang duties sa bahay. So, ngayon, etong mga reasons na to, yung nagiging barrier ng tayo, nagiging mahirap na sa atin to have enough time to enjoy sports and other leisure activities. Kasi nga, yung physically fit, it means you are able to complete tasks with the minimum possible effort. So if these things mentioned ay medyo challenging na sa atin, so may possibility na mahirap at we can say that we are not physically fit. This is another definition from MIT Medical Center for Health Promotion and Wellness. According to MIT Medical Center, physical fitness is to the human body what fine-tuning is to an engine. Sabi nga nila, di ba, ang katawan daw ng tao ay parang sasakyan. So, it enables us to perform up to our potential because fitness can be described as a condition that helps us look, feel, and do our best. Physical fitness involves the performance of our heart and lungs and the muscles of the body. And since what we do with our bodies also affects what we can do with our minds, fitness influences on some degree qualities such as mental alertness and emotional stability. Kaya minsan kapag may mga bagay that we are tasked to do, tapos feeling natin, bakit kaya ganun ang sluggish ng isip ko, parang tamad na tamad ako, wala akong masyadong nagagawa. It can be a factor of physical fitness because it doesn't only cover physical. No, actually lahat internal, external, and many more. Maybe this will be your next question after hearing yung mga bagay regarding physical fitness. So, ano nga ba yung mga checklist? No, pwede mo siyang i-check kung applied sa'yo or baka hindi. So, according to Duffy ng 2017, ikaw daw ay isang fit na tao if you do the following or able to do the following. One, you have the energy to do what is important to you and to be more productive. So, you're able to function well on your daily life, on your daily tasks. Wala ka masyadong backlogs or at least if you want to do something, you're able to do it with ease and walang problema. Number two, maglalakad ka sa hagdanan, you're going to do physical things, so ang stamina mo, matibay. And also, you have a positive outlook to handle the mental challenges and emotional ups and downs of everyday life and deal with stress. The fact that we are able to deal with stress is a good sign of being physically fit. Number three, reduced risk for many health problems such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and osteoporosis. These are mostly genetically or lifestyle-related diseases. So, since physical fitness yung pinag-uusapan, malaking factor din yung you're able to do physical things para itong mga to is naiiwasan natin. Number 4, you have the chance to look and feel your best. Kapag nga, 'di ba, nag-workout tayo daily or at least madalas tayo nakakapag-release ng stress through exercise, feeling natin, 'di ba, we're at our best. Nasa optimum tayo. So, that's a good sign of fitness. 5, physical strength and endurance to accomplish physical challenges too. Magbuhat ng tubig sa bahay, magdala ng bigas, magbuhat ng mga furnitures, maglinis, kumilos ng hindi hinihingal, umakyat sa NB, pabalik-balik ng minimum lang yung hingal. So those are all under physical strength. And last, number 6, a better chance for a higher quality of life and perhaps a longer life too. Since ang life expectancy ng mga tao, even here in the Philippines, ay paigsi na ng paigsi, physical fitness is one of the parang considered na sandata natin in ending this, yun, yung mas mababang life expectancy. Kasi nga, when you are fitter, well, you have a better chance for a higher quality of life. Kasi you're able to do everything that you want to do. So, kung yung 6 na yon ay check sa'yo, congratulations because you are physically fit. But, in the next slides, I will be discussing yung mga possible din naman na reasons kung bakit hindi tayo physically fit. So, ano naman yung mga yon na baka pwede nating ma-improve, maiwasan. Sabi nga nila, looking fit does not automatically mean being fit. Minsan, di ba, may mga tao nga na akala mo sobrang payat or maliit, pero yung pala sleeper, yung build, or nakikita mo lang kapag ka natitrigger yung muscles. Minsan naman, may medyo malaki, akala mo sobrang taba, yun pala, weightlifter, di ba, and other things. Because given the many aspects of health and wellness, it is important to see physical fitness from a more holistic perspective. It's important to remember that health is an individual attribute that varies from person to person. Like what I mentioned, kung ano ang meron ka, posibleng wala sa iba because we are uniquely created and magkakaiba tayo ng body composition. So, we really can't judge. Di ba sabi nga nung activity, we listen and we don't judge. Kasi we're not entitled to do that because we are created differently. So, there is nothing you can do about pwedeng itong mga tatlong factors like age, sex, and heredity. Kasi itong mga to, ano na to nasa iyo na yan eh. Though ngayon, medyo may mga improvements na nagagawa, but if these things comes because of age, sex, and heredity, pwedeng wala na siyang remedy or hindi na siya gaanong may improve. Pero itong mga kasunod na to, like lifestyle, well, these can affect the first 3 that I mentioned, age, sex, and heredity. Lifestyle, in definition, is about how you live your life. Gising ka sa umaga, anong gagawin mo, paano mo gagawin yung gantong bagay, paano mo pinatatakbo yung isang araw. So, yun yung lifestyle. Lifestyle is a set of pattern that you choose to do every day. It can be improved, yes. Or pwede bang mas stuck na lang ako doon? Yes, also. So, among the good things that you can improve in our or in your lifestyle are your exercise and your eating habits. Exercise and eating habits, magkakambal po yan. Hindi po pwedeng mag-exercise ka, tapos kakain ka naman ng bawal, hindi maganda, hindi din makakatulong sa'yo. And vice versa, hindi naman pwedeng ang healthy nga ng pagkain mo, pero pagkakain mo naman, tutulog ka lang, wala kang ibang gagawing exercise. So, as you can see, magkakakonekta po silang lahat. If your eating habit and your exercise is on a minimum or maximum, you can have good lifestyle. If you have good lifestyle, it can have an effect on your age, sex, and your heredity. So, ganun lang po yan. So, kahit na wala tayong magagawa dun sa first 3, yung mga factors na nasa baba, pwede pa natin siyang i-improve. And we can still improve ourselves. So that is about physical fitness and wellness. And with that, let's proceed with our first learning check for today's discussion. So, ito pong learning check, i-introduce ko lang siya sa inyo for you to know what you're going to do on the following slides kasi you'll encounter many learning checks that you will be doing. So, for every learning check that you see in this lecture video, you will be answering these questions through a Google form that will be provided in the description box of this video. So yung Google form na yon doesn't have any question because the questions will be here in the slides. So you will just answer the question by basing on what you watched and kung ano po yung nakita nyo sa atin pong lecture video. Ano po? So, nasa Google Forms lahat isasagot and you will just submit it once you are done. Okay, so let's start with our first learning check. So for our learning check number 1, please answer this question. With all the facts discussed and given in the previous slides, do you consider yourself physically active or physically fit? Or both? Then you will just explain why. So maigsi lang po, hindi po kailangan sobrang haba. Ano po? Alright, so let's proceed with the next part. Physical fitness, which covers the health-related fitness and skill-related fitness. So these two, I'm sure, na-discuss na to ng mga previous teachers ninyo or even I in the first semester. So we will just have a quick review of the following. Starting with the first one, which is the health-related fitness. So in definition, ang major difference lang nilang dalawa, si health-related fitness is a program na prescribed to improve the general health of the individual. Health-related fitness is something that we are born with. So ito po ay bata pa lang tayo, nasa atin na. So these are things that yes can be improved, but usually may mga limits siya, certain limits. So what are those? Let's start with the first one. We have the cardiovascular endurance. Cardiovascular endurance is about being able to do exercises maalin man sa moderate to vigorous intensity for a prolonged period of time. We have this experience na pag halimbawa maglalakad lang tayo ng malayo, akit ng hagdan, it's already hard for us. So it means that yung cardiovascular endurance natin medyo mababa or mahina. So cardiovascular endurance mainly tackles the heart. So we know that cardio talks about the heart or the system of the heart. And it talks about how our heart pumps the blood which carries oxygen to and away from our heart, the brain, and so on. Kaya po, minsan, you might be wondering, bakit po ba ako hinihingal? Ba't po ba ako hinahapo? Nawawalan ng paghinga? Or minsan, parang mag-blackout, almost may himatay. Yun po yung reason. Kasi nadya-challenge or nagkakaroon ng stress sa ating cardiovascular system. So it talks about our endurance. Number 2, we have muscular strength. So muscular strength simply is the force your muscles can exert or how heavy weights they can lift. Not all people can lift some things and there are some naman na malakas talaga nakakapagbuhat like weightlifters. So muscular strength naman yung tinatamaan doon. On the contrary, muscular endurance is kung kailan at gaano mo kahaba kayang i-sustain yung isang exercise for a period of time. Usually, ang tinatamaan dito kapag mga core exercises or lifting. So, kung gaano mo kahabang kayang i-endure literally yung exercise, that is muscular endurance. Best example, sa weightlifting, mabubuhat mo, that's strength. But how long you will hold it, that's endurance. Next, we have flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to move muscles and joints through a full range of motion. Not all people are flexible, but usually it's easier for girls. Ano, kasi biologically speaking, mas madali siya sa babae. Because unlike boys, may limitations kasi ang katawan ng boys in terms of flexibility. So it's about being able to extend your body to certain extents or to certain points, yan, without experiencing pain or discomfort. And lastly, we have body composition. So body composition is your body's ratio of fat mass to fat-free mass like muscle and bone. Like what I said, since health-related nga ito po yung best example ng something that comes when we are born, comes with us. So ito na po yung kung ano po yung ratio ng fat natin, ng mass, ng muscle sa bone, ng ating katawan. So, can it be changed? Yes, it can be improved, but usually, ito yung limit na sinasabi ko kanina. Skill-related fitness. So, ito naman po yung another group of fitness that we have. So, skill-related fitness is a fitness program that can be further improved, enhanced, or can be acquired. Kanina, si health-related fitness is something that we're born with. Si skill naman, eto, since skill nga siya, pwedeng meron ka nito, innate kang meron nito, or pwedeng something na na-acquire mo along the way of growing up, experiences, which means it can easily be improved or it can be enhanced. So, unlike health-related fitness na may limit. But not all meron nitong mga to. So, let's talk about the examples. We have first is agility. Agility is very simple. Since, ayan, kapatid po ito ni speed. Si agility is being able to change direction na meron pong quickness and lightness of movement. We move depending upon the speed that we are in, but if you're able to change direction quickly, that is agility. Next, we have balance. Balance is the ability to keep an upright posture while either standing or still moving. Good balance is essential in many activities like skating, surfing, skiing, and gymnastics. Even simply walking itself, it's a good ability. Not all people ay may good balance. Kaya nga minsan may mga taong lagi natatapilok, mabilis matumba, because it's hard for them to keep their own balance. Coordination, ito naman po is simply moving one part of your body and then another part of your body simultaneously na merong accurate, smooth, and harmonious body movement. So like in the picture, paper juggling is the best example. Speed is simply kung gaano mo po kayang i-cover yung distance from one point to another. So unlike agility, si speed is ano lang yan, point A to point B. Sa agility kasi parang point A tapos liliko sa kabila and so on and so forth. So si speed naman, ano lang to, usually sa sports like athletics, track and field specifically. Power refers to the ability of the muscles to release maximum force in the shortest period of time. So usually jumping movements na exhibit yung power. And lastly, we have reaction time. Reaction time is the time or amount of time it takes to start a movement once your senses signal the need to move. Simply by responding to a stimulus, so dun mo po, or stimuli, dun mo malalaman kung mataas ba or mababa yung reaction time mo. Sabi ko nga, di ba sa examples ko, pag binato ka ng bato, ano bang gagawin mo, di ba? You should dodge or sambutin mo. So pag mataas po yung reaction time mo, well, mas mabilis pong gumana ang senses natin. And so yun po yung ating health-related and skill-related fitness component. So for our second learning check, you will simply, number one, choose one health-related component that you think limits your physical activity or activities and explain why. And number two, which among the skill-related component do you think is your strength naman? So sa health-related, ano yung nagli-limit sa'yo? So number two naman, ano naman yung skill-related component na feeling mo ay strength mo? And how so? That is our first lesson. And now we will proceed with our lesson two, which is defining wellness. So we focused a while ago with physical fitness. On the second lesson, we will go with wellness naman po. Wellness, in definition, is an act of consistently practicing healthy habits to achieve better physical and mental health results so you prosper while living rather than just living. Wellness is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, according to the World Health Organization. Another definition from National Wellness Institute: wellness is a conscious, self directed, and evolving process of achieving your full potential. Sabi ko nga po, if you're able to maintain an optimal level of wellness, it is utterly essential to a better quality of life. Wellness matters as everything we do and every emotion we feel is connected to our well-being. Ang ating pong well-being itself identifies or tells us kung tayo po ba ay makagkakaroon ng influence sa ating mga behaviors, emotions. Parang ano yan constant na loop. So, all of us need to reach optimal wellness, the same with optimal fitness, to decrease tension, reduce the likelihood of illness, and ensure positive relationships. We have the following dimensions of fitness. So kanina napag-usapan po natin ang fitness. Ito po yung mga dimensions na natatamaan niya. We have first physical, second is cultural, third is social, four is financial, five is environmental, six is intellectual, seven is emotional, eight is sexual, 9 is occupational, and 10 is spiritual. So these are the dimensions of fitness. Of fitness, meron din naman tayong dimensions of wellness. So this is what we're going to be discussing further. So we have emotional, spiritual, cultural, intellectual, financial, environmental, occupational, physical, and social. Well, if you will observe, almost the same. Lang din naman silang dalawa. So let's talk about each of the dimensions. Wellness. This dimension is about understanding your feelings, coping with problems, and stress effectively. Since physical activity is not only limited to physical, it also have an effect with our emotional wellness. So how we feel, how we cope, that is our emotional wellness. And I think ito yung isa sa mga pinakamahirap na i-achieve, emotional wellness. But still, it's a good um, achievement kung ito yung ma-achieve natin. Kasi once we are well emotionally, everything else can follow. Second, we have environmental. This dimension helps us to live in harmony with our surroundings by doing something to preserve it. So interacting with nature, taking care of it, yeah, that is environmental wellness. And it directly affects us because whatever is happening around us tends to have an impact to us as well. Siyempre, sino ba naman ang hindi mag-aasam ng financial wellness? So this relates to the process of learning how to handle your financial expenses effectively. Ano ba, mag-splurge ba ako sa milk tea? Inom ba ako ng kape ngayon? Di ako gagastos, magbabaon ako, magmamaluto ako para makabili ako ng kape. Ayan. So financial wellness. Next, intellectual wellness. This dimension involves keeping an open mind as you come across new ideas and improving your knowledge further. By simply watching this lecture video, attending your classes, yan, we are becoming richer and richer intellectually. Occupational wellness is a dimension of wellness which encourages personal fulfillment and enrichment of one's life through work. Kaya nga po tayo nag-aaral, kaya po tayo pumapasok. It's because we want to have good occupation. And having good occupation can lead to financial freedom, emotional, and so on. And of course, we have physical wellness. This relates to keeping a safe body and finding treatment when appropriate. Sabi nga nila, we have to learn to listen to our own bodies kasi sometimes it signals us of something wrong, pero di ba we tend to ignore. So we have to be very cautious about this. Next, we have sexual wellness. This applies to the individual's active involvement in his or her life by discussing the various issues surrounding sexuality and sexual health. So though ito po ay medyo taboo na topic for some, it's important that we also explore and learn sexual wellness. Social wellness encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to social connections, relationships, and personal expression. Ika nga po nila, no man is an island. We can't do everything without other people. Kahit na loner ka pa, di ka sanay na maraming tao, mahirap pong mabuhay ng walang kasama. So this is about being well in terms of connections, relationships, and personal expression. And lastly, above all, syempre hindi pwedeng mawala ang spiritual wellness. This helps you to develop a set of spiritual values that will help you achieve purpose and meaning. Kaya nga 'di ba minsan maririnig natin yung mga tao, parang even though I'm financially free, I'm emotionally good, I feel like my environment is okay. So parang ang ending po ay um, yung ating pong achievement is hindi nagiging fulfilling. Kasi nga, yung ating pong spiritual wellness is hindi natin na enhance. Okay po? So that's spiritual wellness. So those are the dimensions of wellness. So for our third learning check, simple question lang, which do you think is the dimension of fitness that is being explored most by people? And sa tingin nyo, bakit po kaya? And now for our last lesson, we will be talking about training concepts and methodologies. So kanina po, we were able to discuss about physical fitness and wellness. So how would we achieve physical fitness and wellness? So this is the answer. Through good training concepts and guided methodologies. So the following are the key principles to keep in mind while creating a fitness program since napag-usapan nga po natin na we are different from one another. So yung program that works for me might not work for you. So here are the principles that you can keep in mind in order for you to find or to create a good program for you. So first is the principle of specificity. This principle focuses on kung ano ba yung mas prefer mo na enhance sa'yo. So kung halimbawa, may certain sport ka na gustong ma-improve yung skills mo. Halimbawa, let's say volleyball. So kailangan makapagpataas ka ng talon or at least lumakas yung puwersa ng pulso mo. So yung mga workouts dapat that you do, the program that you should create or allot for certain times, ay dapat yun mismo yung tina-target. Why? Because if you're going to target another muscle na hindi naman involved yun para sa certain skills na i-enhance mo, so mawawalan siya ng purpose. So another example is for halimbawa gusto mong lumaki ang biceps or triceps. So dapat specific yung plan or yung program na ginagawa mo, dapat para siya sa triceps and para siya sa bicep, if that's what you're aiming for. So that is specificity. Number two, we have the principle of overload. So sabi nga dito, only by training more than usual can fitness be enhanced. You must exert considerable effort. So halimbawa, nananakbo ka, one lap. Kapag nag-one lap ka lang ng nag-one lap, magiging stagnant yung kaya mo. So dapat, halimbawa, one lap. Sige, lagpasan natin ng konti pa. Parang lagpasan mo ng konti pa yung more than the usual. So baka pwedeng habang nananakbo ka, magdala ka ng something na mabigat. Kumbaga parang ino-overload mo yung sarili mo kasi when your body gets accustomed to something that you usually do, yung effect niya kasi naglalast. So, kailangan ino-overload mo siya para nagugulat yung katawan mo, nagbabago yung training na nagiging effect ng training sa katawan natin. Third principle is the principle of progression. So, sabi nga nila, when starting to work out or your fitness routine, hindi pwedeng umpisa pa lang pang patayan na agad. Kailangan you increase it gradually. Kumbaga parang habang nag-overload ka, pag feeling mo enough na yung overloading, i-progress mo naman. So halimbawa, nagbubuhat ka ngayon ng 20 pounds. Hindi pwedeng habang buhay 20 pounds ka. So kailangan nagpo-progress yung bigat. So from 20 pounds, dagdagan natin bukas. Sige, let's try 25 pounds or 30 pounds. Hanggang sa magugulat ka na lang, grabe, nasa 80 pounds na pala ako. So yun yung progression. Pero ang progression hindi pwedeng binibiglayan ha. Dapat si progression gradual. So kung halimbawa ngayong week 20 ka muna, pag feeling mo nagagaanan ka na or kaya mo na, dagdag ka ng konti next week. Hindi pwedeng bigla. Dapat palaging kung ano lang yung kaya. So paunti-unti, 5, tapos pag feeling mo okay na ulit, lakihan natin, gawin natin 10, and so on. So that is progression. Okay? And number 4, we have the principle of reversibility. Reversibility is any adaptation that occurs as a result of exercise will be reversed when you cease training. You will lose fitness if you take a break or do not work out frequently enough. Ito na yung sinasabi nila na, Sir, ba't po gano'n? Ano lang po, parang weeks lang po or month lang po naman akong tumigil. Bakit po parang lumaki po ulit ako agad and so on. Hindi naman po ako kumakain ng madami. Yung po yung sinasabi nilang reversibility. Kapag nakarating na po tayo sa ating maintained or ideal na weight, hindi ibig sabihin po nun titigil na tayo. We should still exercise and work out. Maybe not as intense as before, but at least we work out. Do you get the point? Kailangan meron ka pa ring workout. Hindi mo siya pwedeng tanggalin. Why? Kasi magkakaroon siya ng reverse effect sa'yo. Alright? So that is the principle of reversibility. So those are the 4 principles that you can add. Alright? Aside from those principles, so pwede din po nating i-consider, ito mahalaga din ito, the FIT principle or the FITT principle. This is very simple lang. Ang concept lang niya is frequency, intensity, time, and type. So, in frequency, decide how often you would like to train. Ano bang start mo? Ikaw ba ay mag-everyday? Ikaw ba ay magpa 5 days, 2 days rest day? Ikaw ba ay twice a day, twice a week muna? Pwede bang once muna? So, you decide the frequency and it should be consistent. So, hindi pwede ngayon, isang araw, next week, 2 days. Kailangan mag-establish ka ng pattern. Second is intensity. How hard you want to work out. Hindi kasi pwedeng bare minimum lang sa workout. Sabi nga kanina, di ba? Principle of overload and progression. Kailangan nag-i-improve. 3, time. Gaano ka ba kahabang mag-train? In my experience, I usually allot 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Minsan 4 kapag wala talaga masyadong gawain. Ang ginagawa ko, yung cooldown yung medyo hinahabaan ko. Kasi hindi pwedeng nag-workout ka for how many hours. Ang ending nun, magma-muscle waste ka na eh. So parang you work out your program, after that you rest. Sobrang importante po ng rest. Hindi lang siya nare-realize ng mga tao, but without rest, yung workout itself will not work. And of course, the type. Choose which training techniques to employ. There are techniques that might be harder for you or easier for you. We don't know. So, kailangan talagang i-customize siya based on what you have or what you can do. So, after the principles and the guides that I discussed, ito na yung isang suggestion na pwede natin gawin. Actually, I will allow you to experience face-to-face. So, we have the high-intensity interval training or the HIIT or HIIT program. So, HIIT involves exercises performed in repeated quick bursts at maximum or near maximal effort with periods of rest or low activity between bouts. Best example nito are Tabata workouts or yung mga workout na may list ka ng workout, tapos you workout for certain time, tapos may rest, habang nagre-rest, may low impact exercise. It can also be circuit training. Yan, HIIT program yung mga yan. Bakit siya mahalaga? Kasi ito yung mga possible na reasons. Una, effective siyang training method. Bakit? Uh, it improves your patience, mag-intay, mag-endure. Endurance is a good endurance training. Two, alternating between intense bouts of exercise and low intensity exercise. Kasi hindi pwedeng puro high intensity, hindi din pwedeng puro low. So at least meron kang salitan. Three, it can be used anaerobically. Pwede siya sa gym, pwedeng may weights, pwede din namang cardio. And mostly, it burns more fat, it improves endurance, and it builds strength. And I believe that these three, pag meron ka nito, sobrang laking edge no, sa ibang tao mostly. At talagang you can perform anything na gusto mong i-perform. So ano yung mga benefits niya aside from yung nabanggit ko kanina? So it builds muscle, it helps lose weight quickly, it improves aerobic and anaerobic capacity, and for all over siya. So lahat na, muscles, cardio, and others. Yun lang ang limitations kapag hindi mo siya nagagawa ng tama. So you can have the following. Muscle loss, muscle cramps. Ito yung mga ma-experience mo. Slow yung recovery, may loss of energy, and fatigue. Last part, we have the fundamental body movements. So these body movements are the foundations for physical activities like games, sports, and recreational activities. So itong mga to are linked or it involves your body parts but should not be confused with sporting abilities. So bago po tayo makapag engage with sport, una yung mga to, ito muna yung una natin natutunan. So ito yung requirement ng ating katawan. And you're very, very familiar with the following. First, we have non-locomotor movements. So non-locomotor movements are commonly called actual movements. It refers to the body movements without allowing the body to travel. So ito yung mga examples. So you can read kung ano yung examples ng non-locomotor movements. So basically, gumagalaw ka pero hindi ka nagte-travel or nag-change ng direction. Kung meron tayong non-locomotor, we have locomotor movements. So this refers to the body's movements where the body travels from one location to another. And maraming locomotor movements na example, naka-classify din siya into irregular movements kahit na parang equal and unchanging yung actions niya. So my example na ay walking, running, hopping, leaping, jumping, and yung mga uneven rhythm which includes skipping, galloping, and sliding. So let's just go through the movement concepts. First, we have body awareness. Body awareness is learning a person's body part and of course understanding what parts can do and moving the parts. Alam naman natin that our body has functions and each part ay may kanya-kanyang function. Two, spatial awareness. We should know how to utilize yung space na meron tayo into physical space. Three, directional awareness. We should understand directions like left, right, up, down, in, out, top, and bottom, and front and back. Or temporal awareness, the construction of an internal time structure that identifies movement time relationships. And five, relationship awareness, understanding with what the body makes movements or with whom the body make movements. And lastly, we have the movement principles. So kanina we have movement concepts, now we have movement principle. We have balance. So I will no longer discuss the following kasi ito naman ay napapadaan-daanan na natin. Balance, we have centering, so core ng katawan. Three, we have center of gravity. So ito ay point where all the body's weight is distributed equally across all sides. We have posture. So ang ating pong presumed position kapag tayo po ay naglalakad to have stability. Five is gesture, how we convey emotions, how we express. Six, we have rhythm and breathing. So inhalation, exhalation, fluidity, and harmony to a person's movement. So last, we have the PARQ test. So PARQ stands for Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire. So it is a screening tool used to determine whether an individual is ready to engage in physical activity or exercise. So bakit natin siya ginagawa? Kasi we want to have sort of a clearance before we do or before you do activities na intensified or mahirap talaga. So we will do PARQ very soon. Who should use the PARQ? Kayo na mag-start ng exercise program and personal trainers. So hindi pwede mag-start ng routine without answering a PARQ test. Outcome of the PARQ test kapag ka no, so technically safe naman kayo to have an activity. However, if an individual answers yes to one or more questions, kailangan ng medical consultation. So, we will check kung kaya ba talaga or yung PARQ test is maging okay ba yung result. Importance niya, last na po ito, useful siya in PE settings kasi it's an assurance na kaya mo talaga. So it helps us educators and trainers to tailor an activity na kaya ng limitations. Alright? So the last one, learning check, is list down fitness goals. So syempre, mag-undergo tayo ng certain activities and talagang mabigat ang activities. So I want you to list down your fitness goals na feeling nyo you can achieve through engaging into the activities of that fit. So that's it for the first module, lessons 1 to 3. So I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next lecture video. Thank you for listening.